on the button. Let's get started, please.
Sounds good. Yeah.
You're good.
We will call the meeting to order during this very strange time, during this very strange process. With the Pledge of Allegiance, so wherever you're at, if you would just please stand and put your hand to your heart, and we'll say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, guys. First off, I think it's just probably us here tonight. I don't think there's any public, if I'm not mistaken.
Madam Chair, Superintendent Larson here. There are no patrons in the audience. I would respectfully request that you ask via phone if there's anyone that's providing community input tonight. That would be appropriate.
Okay, well, with that, I would, let's do roll call, Mr. Lumberg.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. Board Member Odie, yes. Hopper? Hopper, yes. Thatcher?
Yes.
Elcott? Yes.
Thank you. And with that, as Superintendent Larson reminded us before we started the meeting, if you are going to make a motion, please state your name or motion by, and then your name, and say with a second by, and then your name, and then we'll do everything roll call vote. I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda as presented tonight, please.
So move, Saxer.
Second, Woodard, Elcott.
There's been a first and a second. Roll call, Mr. Lumberg.
Thatcher?
Yes.
Elcott? Yes. Odie? Yes. Hopper? Yes. Oh.
Yes. Thank you very much. There are no conflicts of interest, disclosure, or waiver requests that I'm aware of tonight. That takes us to approval of our minutes from our regular board meeting on March 9th and March 23rd, 2020. I would entertain a motion and a second to approve those minutes as presented, please.
Board Member Odie. Odie, second.
Okay, so Lumber was a motion, correct, and Odie was a second.
That's correct.
Roll call. Okay, roll call, vote, Mr. Lumber.
Hopper? Yes. Odie? Yes. Thatcher?
Yes.
Elcott? Yes. Oh.
Yes, thank you. Is there anyone on the phone line tonight that would like to have any community input? I will take that silence as a no. That takes us to our financial items. Bills and claims, Mr. Lumberg.
Very good. I'll just hit on a couple items that I have noted. Feel free to interject anything that you guys would have had questions on in the listings that we provided in your board packet. On page 3, consultation at Fleet Pride, there was a complete engine replacement on one of our buses, $20,921. Bus was, I think about 6 or 7 years old, so it was very valid expenditure to continue the life of that bus, and it was a major expenditure that was charged off to the capital outlay fund. On page 6, I also had noted the Sioux Falls School District. We had 2 payments to them this month. First payment was for the second half of our Career Academy contract with them, $52,040. The second portion of that payment was for the NSD revenue sharing agreement of $43,035. That's the Sioux Falls School District share of the NSD plant, Lawrence site plant, comes out of the capital outlay fund dollars. Total bills of $361,731. Oh, Greg over here. Yep.
Is the revenue, NSD revenue, is that split 50/50?
No, that's what, we received the base of 50% right off the bat, and then the remainder of the other 50% is then split in half, so it amounts to about 25% of the revenue share of the total revenue. Any other questions on the bills there? It's $50,806 pay voucher. A lot of substitute teaching, bus driving for the first half of March. And then a good portion of that was concession, profit ratio. We paid a concession manager a percentage of the profits at the end of the year, $7,600. Food service bills amounted to a total of $98,028. Bills and claims, unless there's some other questions.
Paul, real quick, are there any, whether it's here or foreseeable in the future, any bills that we need to be aware of since of this COVID-19, so whether it's cleaning bills or anything that we just probably should have on our back of our mind?
Not that I'm aware of at this point, no.
Okay, good to know, thank you.
Anyone else on the phone have any questions for Mr. Lundberg on the bills and claims? If not, I would entertain a motion and a second, please, to approve the bills and claims as presented tonight.
Offer so moved. Second.
There's been a first and a second. Roll call, Mr. Lundberg.
Lundberg. Yes. Elka. Yes. Rogers.
Yes.
Odie. Yes. Oh.
Yes. Motion passes. Thank you. Financial report, Mr. Lundberg, whenever you're ready.
Very good. First part, through the cash report, for the month of March, coming into the month, $22,476,000. We have receipts this month of $3,187,000. And in the body of the cash report, there's one item that needs to note in there that we are making our operating transfer. The board should be very well aware of this, our budgeted operating transfer from the capital outlay fund to the general fund of $900,000. We had total disbursements of $3,194,000, leaving a cash balance at the end of March of $22,469,000. $5.6 million was in the general fund, $273,000 in the capital outlay fund, $54,000 in the pension fund, $76,000 in the enterprise fund, and $16.4 million in the capital foundation fund. $3,187,000 is itemized. Receipts are itemized for you. I will touch on one of those receipts, the bank franchise tax, when we get into the financial statement. I'll wait to that point. Following that are the investment report treasuries and CD at First National Bank, $16,392,000. Payroll benefits report for the month of March, just shy of $2 million payroll, $1,967,000, and $1.2 million of related deductions and benefits. Then going to the actual financial statements, the first part of that is the revenue, page one of the revenue. Right in the middle of the report, you'll see bank franchise tax. That budgeted item of $550,000. Actual year-to-date receipt, the receipt that we got at the end of March was $880,000, which is an amount that's $330,000 over budget. And we need to pay attention to this because this is going to cause us, I mean, it's a good thing, but it's not as good a thing as it was in past years because now all other revenues are equalized, as you know, funding formula. So what this does for Brandon Valley School District, it creates a timing issue for us. We're receiving this money, but we will not, experience the reduction in state aid until the 21-22 school year. Not next year, the following year. So there's a whole, 1 year behind in the whole thing. So this causes us, we have to navigate this timing issue. It's definitely not insurmountable, but we'll just have to navigate it through the utilization of fund balances that will, this money will basically go into our fund balance, and then we'll utilize that money later when we see the reduction in state aid with the other revenue equalization. Everybody with me on that rather complex issue?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Revenues and expense under the revenues, I have no other concerns, everything's running, right at or above budget, so we should have no problems in the revenue side of things. On the expenditure side of things, the general fund is, showing a 74.59% expended, versus 74.05% last year. I did have in my notes just pointing out that this, once again, is a 0.5% above where we were last year. That's the same speech I've been giving since October of 2019. We've been, history is a great indicator of the future. We've been averaging 0.5% each and every month, and I could read financial reports, so I think it'll hold very much to true in the end. So these are very, I think, here with the COVID-related, stuff that we have going on, so it'll probably be a little less than 0.5% over, probably more like it was last year, which was 0.5% under the total budget. So that's the general fund, capital outlay fund, no issues, special ed fund. You'll notice that the special ed fund is showing 76.69% expended year to date. The reason that's a little higher than last year is that we made the fourth quarter T12 payment. We paid that in 4 equal installments. We made that fourth quarter installment in March last this year and didn't make it until April last year. So you'll see a little difference there. Otherwise, it's right on par with last year. Our redemption is good. Food service is showing a net loss of $102,000. That was trained towards a $40,000 profit at year end. I'm not quite sure how the COVID-related issues that we're encountering will affect that in the end. I'm hoping for somewhere around break even in that. The food service fund is well positioned to withstand a loss, even if it does occur, but I think we'll make up quite a bit of that $100,000 before year end. Trust and agency payments for $171,000 at loss comes for others. And the capital project fund shows $1,563,000 for expenditures so far, mainly bond issuance fees and architectural fees in the land that we bought on the west side. Any questions that anybody has on these reports?
Well, hearing no questions, I would entertain a motion and a second to approve the financial report presented tonight, please.
So,
Only so moves.
second.
Over second.
There's been a first and a second. Roll call, Mr. Lundberg.
Over. Yes. Over. Yes. Delta. Yes. Factor.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. Motion passes. Thank you very much, Mr. Lundberg, for all your work on this.
Thank you.
All right, that takes us to our general business section. Administrative Center, Superintendent Larson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Want to note, Spartan Elementary School construction, they have
Commissioned some heavy equipment down to that site and have begun some of the preliminary dirt work. If the weather cooperates, we are hoping to see some foundation dirt work begin next week. You've seen the other timeline as presented. Everything on that front at this time appears to be moving in a timely manner. So it was exciting to see the equipment down there and see some scratching being done. The Title I budget issue for 2020-21 and staff reduction process is complete in its entirety. The 2020-21 negotiations timeline and wage recommendations. All salary and wage recommendations are subject to change in the event of a special legislative session that alters the district's FY21 budget. As you are aware, they have passed and signed all of the education funding bills, but have also made the statement that there may be a special legislative session to address the upcoming budget year due to COVID. I would note that there is strong potential that the federal stimulus package and whatnot may have a positive impact on the state budget or help us absorb some of that. So at this point in time, we are moving forward with the salary and wage recommendations, but each and every one of those actions have the caveat that they're subject to being readdressed in the event of a special legislative session. The only other item that I would note on that before we get into the action items within the agenda is, given our unique meeting circumstances and the teleconference situation, I just postponed, spoke with our personnel welfare committee members, and just postponed superintendent contract negotiations for a future date. Specifically, we'll evaluate there when we get to June and we know more about the legislative session. Part of that has to do with the June, the question mark, but then also the conference call situation. To have an executive session over a teleconference, you have to supply 2 teleconference lines, pausing one, and then picking up the other. So it just creates a cumbersome and complex process that I thought we could just avoid for the time being. Budget process still rolls. I think it's really important for everyone to know and understand that even in these unprecedented and unique and really, really challenging times that we're working through, our planning for the 2021 school year and beyond continues. So we will look for a preliminary budget presentation in May, and then we will look to hold a public budget hearing and potential action in July. So the budget process continues to roll. Child nutrition services, 2 items that I really want to provide you an update on. The Lynx Lunch Express, our mobile feeding unit, is in the process of being constructed and finalized. We look to add a couple of mobile sites to our summer lunch program. That was the original intent of the bus, is to expand our summer lunch feeding program to multiple eligible sites out in the community. So that construction process is still ongoing. The other item I would note is we are currently reviewing an innovative programmatic grant opportunity. This would ultimately provide shared services from our CNS director with several small metro area schools within the general southeast region. And what this would do is, at no financial impact to the Brandon Valley School District, we would have the ability to add a registered dietitian, which would expand and enhance our current child nutritious services program and our community education program, all while helping out some smaller metro area schools that struggle with that expertise in the CNS directorship services. So we're currently reviewing that. I look to potentially bringing something more formal to you here in the near future, but just want to make certain that you're aware that we are evaluating that grant opportunity. Look to have a good news report from our elementary in April. Want to give you a COVID-19 update. You guys are well aware of the situation. Want to just note and reinforce the importance of our patrons knowing and understanding that our district has a central communication hub COVID website. That's where the most up-to-date and accurate information is when large announcements or things happen. That's the very first thing that's updated. So that's Central Communication Hub for us. Make certain that you point folks to that website for information. Our distance learning plans are in progress and continue, and they will continue for the remainder of the school year. Our academic calendar will remain the same or as consistent as it was presented most recently, with our last day for students being May 22nd. I would note that we are monitoring very closely engagement and completion of work and those types of things. So I certainly appreciate our administration and our teachers' work on the distance learning plans and the platforms that we're using. They're putting forth an incredible amount of effort and doing a very, very nice job with our distance learning plans. Grab and Go lunch update. This is probably the largest single change that we've had to make to our COVID-19 response plan since we launched it back in the middle of March. We have moved to a single weekly distribution. So on Tuesdays will be the lone day for Grab and Go lunch distribution at our respective sites. That's done for a couple of reasons, primarily to reduce the potential for increased exposure risk to our staff and also to our community members that are doing the Grab and Go. So single weekly distribution, that will be on Tuesdays. It started this week and was communicated to all of our parents and patrons. And then in addition to that, it will be every Tuesday from this point moving forward through the remainder of the academic school year. All Brandon Valley School District and South Dakota High School Activities Association activities are canceled for the remainder of the school year, with the exception of one item that I'll speak about in just a little bit. And then we'll have information coming to our parents and patrons, parents and guardians, regarding locker clean out, the ability to get personal items from the school, etc. And then also equipment return to the school. You guys are well aware we have approximately 2,000 devices out in the hands of kids right now, and we'll have to navigate getting all of those devices returned to us so that we can do our annual summer maintenance, etc. But information regarding those items will be disseminated to parents in the near future. We are currently working on and finalizing plans for 2020 graduation ceremony. Principal Schleckaway has and is meeting with senior students, and then also with Parent Advisory Council. And then in addition to that, he is working on a survey that will survey student and or parent feedback, or solicit feedback and insight into a variety of options that we have at this point regarding our graduation ceremony. So there is no news or information to report on the graduation for 2020, except for we're working on finalizing the plan and process. We are gathering feedback and information. We'll utilize that feedback and information as a data point to help us make the best bad decision that we can. Brandon Valley Booster Club video board update. Processing and planning continues. We are working through the purchase. That's actually on this agenda, where we sign the contract and agree to having the video board become Brandon Valley School District property, and then the Booster Club will reimburse us for all of those expenses, as it is the Booster Club's project in its entirety. Academic calendar remains exactly the same. In terms of the state of South Dakota, the Department of Education, the contact days, et cetera, that are in the student management system will remain as they currently are. So there's no real change to the academic calendar, quote unquote. Last day scheduled for kids, May 22nd. I do know that in our distance learning plans, there's some, the last week of school, they're working on some creative ways to take field trips and do field day and do some of those types of things in the best bad way that they can. So with that, Ms. Ohm, I would certainly entertain any questions that members have.
Anyone have any questions for Superintendent Larson? Thank you very much, Superintendent Larson, for your update.
Very much appreciated. Mr. Lundberg, anything additional tonight?
No.
Thank you very much. And I'm assuming there's no administrative staff with you, so I will not go through each school or each section individually.
Correct, there's no administration.
Okay, there is no board policy tonight. That takes us to our general business section. Item number 1, to ratify the 2021 master agreement between the Bragg Valley School District and the DEP Education Association, with the caveat in the event of a special South Dakota legislative session to change the state of South Dakota budget for fiscal year 21, all parties will agree to reconvene with all matters relating to the agreed upon proposal.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Provide a high-level overview. First and foremost, there is a $1,000 salary enhancement paid in the November 2020 payroll. Salaries increased 2.2% for the 2020-21 school year, and there are 2 years remaining within the master contract language, and then extracurricular salaries also increased 2.2% for the year as well. It is relevant to note that there are some very minor tweaks or small tweaks to the health insurance program that we are offering. Business Manager Lundberg has done a phenomenal job of manipulating and managing those numbers with the out-of-pocket buy-down to the premium, as you guys are well aware, went up. We saw about a 9% increase in that, but we tweaked a few things with that insurance program to help control costs. I would allow, Mr. Lundberg, would you like to comment at all on that publicly at this time?
Out-of-pocket, co-pays, out-of-pocket maximums, the deductibles went up, less than $500 each. Prescription drug co-pays went up $5 on each tier of those. Relatively minor changes, so we were able to manage our increase, for the 2021 school year. Everybody seems to be on board, and I think we got a pretty good product in the end.
I would note, Ms. Ohm, that is, the components of that, they're non-negotiable or not negotiated, but we just want to be completely transparent with our teachers and our union and our, all of our patrons, or all of our staff members that have health insurance with us. So we will work to get that information specifically out to folks, but again, from what I could see, the tweaks are so minor, I don't even necessarily know that they'll be noticed. Mr. Lundberg did a great job of managing that. So with that, certainly recommend ratifying the 2021 master agreement with the stipulation cited regarding the special legislative session.
So moved. Baxter,
Yes. Yes.
Baxter,
Yes. Yes.
Palmer. That's my wife, still a teacher on this game. Oh,
Yes. Motion passes, thank you. All right, with that, we go to number 2, approve the wage recommendation for classified staff for the 2021 school year. In the event of a special South Dakota legislative session to change the state of South Dakota budget for fiscal year 21, all matters included within the action will be revisited.
Madam Chair. Superintendent Larson, again, just a real high-level overview. Again, 2.2% wage increase, and then the one-time salary enhancement paid in the November payroll. That is differentiated by part-time, full-time, et cetera, within the classified staff. With that, certainly lean to Mr. Lundberg for any additional comments or questions, but other than that, recommend approval.
All right. With that, I would entertain a motion to approve. Hello?
We hear you. Yep. So moved. Saxer?
Plummer, second.
All right, there's been a first and a second. Roll call, Mr. Lumber?
Baxter,
Yes.
Yes.
Plummer. Yes. Bodie. Yes. Elka. Yes. Hall.
Yes. Thank you, motion passes. Number 3, approve contracts and salary recommendation for administration for the
In the event of a special South Dakota legislative session to change the state of South Dakota budget for fiscal year 21, all financial matters included within the action will be revisited.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Again, just a real quick high-level overview of what you have here. The number of day contract for each individual is listed, and then I recommend all administrators be offered a 2-year contract. It is relevant to note Principal Schleckaway will not get a new contract because this last year he signed a 3-year contract, but he would have 2 years remaining on his current contract. And then you can see their current salary, what the 2.2% increase looks like, what their 2021 salary is, a salary enhancement listed there for your review of $1,500, and then 2 additional days. Individuals that have a 12-month contract are not eligible for the 2 additional days because they're obviously under contract and have a contractual agreement for every day within the academic calendar. That's why some individuals have it, some don't. And then you can see their total salaries. The one item I do want to note is Nick Skibstead, Principal Skibstead at the intermediate school. He has a 209-day contract. In your original packet, it stated 204, so I want you to know he has a 209-day contract. And then the only thing that does tweak is that very shortly, or in a very minimal amount, changes his 2 additional days to $854. So just an item to note, you have a 209-day contract, and the 2 additional days are paid out at their per diem, daily per diem. So with that, certainly recommend administrative contract, 2-year contracts, as well as the recommended compensation package.
Thank you. I would entertain a motion.
So moved, Saxon.
second, Elka.
There's been a first and a second. Roll call, Mr. Lumber?
Baxter,
Yes.
Elka. Yes. Bodie. Yes. Plummer. Yes. Hall.
Yes. Motion passes, thank you. Number 4, approve the balance for Associated School South Dakota Southeast Region Board of Directors for Ellie Baxter in the Brandon Valley School District.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just wanted to have this above the line, best practice, certainly to have the individual that's included within the action abstain from the action, but really supportive of Ellie and her pursuit of this seat. She would do a phenomenal job for the state of South Dakota. Certainly hope that the remainder of the Southeast region also supports her, so recommend approval.
Thank you. Motion?
So moved, Lee. 1% second, Walker.
Thank you. There's been a first and a second. Roll call vote, Mr. Lumber.
Lee. Yes. Walker. Yes. Trelka. Yes. Baxter.
Abstain?
Oliver.
Yes. Motion passes. Thank you and good luck, Ally.
Thank you everyone so very much for your support.
Consent, there's 2 items under consent, approval number 5 and 6. I will entertain a motion to approve those as presented, please.
Walker motion. Two. Walker second.
There's been a first and a second. Roll call, Mr. Lumber.
Walker. Yes. Trelka. Yes. Baxter.
Yes.
Lee. Yes. Oh.
Yes. Motion passes. Thank you. Personnel, there are items 1 through 6 under there for our consent approval. I would entertain a motion to approve those, please.
So moved, Saxon.
Second, Odie.
There's been a first and a second. Roll call, Mr. Lumber.
Baxter.
Yes.
Odie. Yes. Trelka. Yes. Walker. Yes. Oh.
Yeah. Items, 7 through 11 under the information only section are set to guide information only. Did you want to comment anything on those, Superintendent Larson?
No, Madam Chair, just some internal transfers and transfer requests. Specifically at the middle schools, we had some open positions, so no, nothing specific to comment on other than just internal transfers.
Wonderful, thank you. And it takes us to our communication section, and I apologize, I didn't even look to see if there were any building permits under there, so please check that section. There are 3 thank yous there. The Board of Education from some various staff and retirees for your union. And then our board reports. Does anyone have a formal board report that they would like to share tonight? I guess I'll just say, alternative education, we are having a meeting tomorrow. We are looking at closing on that property across the street, and that has been taken care of. I will let you know for sure, but we're pretty excited about that. And that is going to be, considered on our agenda tomorrow. I want to let you know that. Also, we are going to approve the signed contract with McCrossin. Actually, I think we already did that. So, no, that's on the agenda for tomorrow. I can't remember. Never mind. So that's all taken care of also. Otherwise, anyone else have a formal board report they'd like to share tonight? Hearing none, it looks like that takes us to the end of our scheduled agenda. I would entertain a motion to adjourn, please.
So moved, Saxon.
Thank you, Walker.
Thank you. Roll call, Mr. Lumber.
Baxter.
Yes.
Walker. Yes. Okay. Yes.
Yes, motion passes. Thank you everyone for, your flexibility and participation tonight. Everybody just stay well.
Come on, Renee. Hang in there.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hope you feel better.